I only have one question. What color is your Bugatti? That being said, how I became a billionaire using Blender. I'm simply just going to tell you how this parking lot scene was created and how I made the money fall out of the sky. Yeah, I essentially became rich in the metaverse. So, without further ado, let's go straight into it. We'll be taking it one by one, so I'm going to disable everything just like we did the previous tutorial which I have on how to create a forest in Blender, so you can check that out. So let's hide everything and come back. So here we are in an empty scene. Yeah, that's why I'm going to tell you how I created the supercar parking lot, and let's just delve right straight into it. So first of all, the first thing I did was to import these cars. And where did I get them from? They are from an add-on called transport in Blender. So I got the transport add-on, has different transportation assets like cars, boats, basically any form of vehicles. So yeah, that's why I imported these cars from. That was the first thing I did. So let's see it from the top view. Then I arranged them side by side. Then obviously the next thing, we need a whole parking lot, which is wall and ground. So the next thing we have is ground. And if you see the rendered view, yeah, it just has a simple ground texture and these lines. For these lines, I'm going to show you how I created them. So let's go into the shading properties. So for the lines, they are simply made with two for the lines, they are simply made with two wave textures and a noise texture for randomity. So one wave texture is going vertically, the other one is going horizontally, so one is subtracting from the other one, and that's what you can see here. So let me just preview it for you. This is the first wave texture that's going to subtract from the second wave's texture. Yes, so this wave texture is the line, and then this other wave texture up here is what is going to subtract from this. But this wave, this subtracting wave texture is also mixed with a noise texture, as you can see here. So it's mixed with a noise texture, so you can have some random mix randomness value. I think that's the correct one. So it's mixed with some other wave texture, and then is used as the alpha factor of this mix color shader, which simply mixes the original ground texture with this new line texture, and that's how the lines were created. A little fun procedural way. So yeah, after that, the next things were the walls. So the walls, and yeah, let's see how it looks from the camera view. You can see the scene is already starting to tie together. I'm already looking rich. I'm looking super rich, actually. And now this passes as the parking lot, but it just looks too house fatty. That is word. It looks too grungy. So I added some trees with my popular botanic and scatter add-on. If you want to know more on that, like I said for the previous tutorial on how to create the forest asset, really goes in depth on that. So let's just see that. Yeah, just makes it look grounded in reality, and that is basically how the scene was created. Now for the most important part, or for the flex part that shows how rich I am, we need some money, and yeah, let's go to the money. For this money, I'm using a specific trick. So the money is a lot, and I need it to fall from the sky. But as the money falls down, if I use a particle system, the money is not going to deform to the ground plane. So the particle system is not going to work based on the origin. So we're going to have money clipping with the ground plane, and this is a problem I didn't want to happen. I needed the money to collide with the ground. So what did I do? I used cloth sim instead, and then I used dynamic paint and paint groups to activate the cloth sim at a given time to make sure the money falls down, to make sure everything doesn't fall at once, but they fall at a gradient. All these money objects are just in one all this money, sorry, are just in one object, and then the cloth sim with the dynamic paint is gradually going up to activate the cloth sim of the money, so that the money will start falling down. I have an in-depth tutorial on this on my channel, which is called Advanced Cloth Simulation in Blender, where I go in depth on how to set this whole cloth sim and dynamic paint modifier stuff up to make the dynamic paint activate the cloth sim at a given time. So you guys should go and check it out. So that's what I use. I use the cloth sim, and essentially what it does is activate, and you can see the cloth sim is interacting realistically with the ground as we want. It's not just falling through the ground like a particle system would do. So yes, that is essentially what I used for that, and then I duplicated the cloth sim to the other side, and that is basically how this whole scene was created. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This feels so quick to end already, but that's just basically how this whole scene was created, and that's just basically how most like environments are. There's no much thing to say. It's just like keep adding things on things. Environments is just bringing in different assets to gel together, and that's just the beauty of the environment. Just keep adding. So basically that's how I became rich, presumably. I'm not rich, so subscribe so that you can see funds. As you can see, my channel is on, when I'm recording this video, on 220 subscribers. You guys can get me to where I want to be, so that Ajayo. Anyways, basically that's how all this was created, and also more cool stuff's coming. Basically the goal for this channel going forward is just I create cool stuff and I tell you guys how I create them. So yeah, subscribe and much love. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out my previous stuff. I've been talking too much, so people must have clicked off the what do you call it, that retention graph would have just gone like this. At the end it just big to shit. Anyways, goodbye until next time. Peace out.